Welcome back to another video. I wanted to talk today about the dangers of the economic perspective that the right wing or conservative wing of the country has. Now, most of you who are right wing or conservative, or most people who have a general idea of what that is, generally tend to think that when talking about the minimum wage, this is something that is specifically for teenagers or entry level positions, and that in order to make more money in the United States, you should have skilled labor. I am not saying that skilled labor is bad or should not be rewarded for being paid more, but there is some key details that we are completely overlooking, and that is what the minimum wage is. Now, the minimum wage was made in the Fair Labor Standards Act of 1938. The Fair Labor Standards Act of 1938 did a large variety of things, but these are labor standards. They are not for teenagers. They're specifically standards for labor. Immediately after 1938, Great Depression ended in 1939 because the economy got better. World War II ended in 1945. This is where a lot of people who argue with me come around and say, oh, really? Was it a great economic period? We had a recession. Yeah, we had an 8-month recession because World War II ended in 1945. And if that's your argument, I mean, you sound like you would prefer the war to have continued, and that's kind of sad. So the fact that the war ended, yes, it did hurt the economy because war does generate revenue, unfortunately. I don't know what the fuck you want me to say. It was an 8-month recession. I think it was I think it was 1945 to 1946, or it might have been 1948 to 49. I don't remember. Doesn't really matter. It still got better because in 1946 to 1964, that was our baby boom. And the baby boom, babies were affordable. If we go have a kid right now, go look at that fucking hospital bill and you tell me if that's fucking affordable or not. The world is completely unlivable. Housing prices have gone up over 100%, way more than that. They are literally $300,000 plus now, and your parents and grandparents would buy one for $30,000. What the fuck? Are you seriously sitting here saying that the minimum wage is for teenagers? Grow up. I cannot fucking stress this enough. One big key thing that I have to say about this is when people bring up inflation, they say that if we print more money, the value of the dollar is going to decrease because if we have more of something, the less value it holds, therefore requiring more of that money to pay for those things that we need, like groceries. They're correct. That is how inflation works. But they're missing out a key detail. We are printing money and we're supposed to be getting rid of the old money, but I don't know exactly the process of how they're supposed to get rid of old money when it's in circulation going around the entire country. We have about $2 trillion in actual US currency and actual like bills and actual money. They're printing money every day. They're printing money every single day. At least they have yearly orders. They print money every year. And you cannot sit there and tell me it's because of the minimum wage. That is fucking goddamn outrageous and stupid and unintelligent to say. So when people come around and they start saying, just don't get a skilled labor, just don't get a skilled job if you want to survive, you are excluding your neighbor. You are excluding the average American, and you are excluding them from their livelihood. You are not being considerate to the burger flipper. You are not being considerate to the valet driver. You are not being considerate to the cashier. You are not being considerate to the pizza delivery man. You believe they should just stop what they're doing and go get skilled labor. What the fuck is wrong with you? You're probably a privileged person. Like, let's just say 9 times out of 10. If you believe this, you're either stupid or you're privileged. If you believe that it's for teenagers or entry level positions, you're stupid. Now let's go back to inflation because that was a big topic that really needed to be discussed. I want you to think about this number, $4 quadrillion in leveraged derivatives in the bank, and that is basically online money in your bank account that's in the computer systems, in the banking system. That is what those leveraged derivatives are. That means that the bank has to protect that money with real US currency, which I just previously stated. How much money do we have? $2 trillion-ish dollars. 2 trillion versus 4 quadrillion. Banks go insolvent when we pull money out of the bank and they don't have the money to give us. Are you connecting the dots here yet? They have all this money that they're supposed to protect with real US currency, $4 quadrillion worth, but they don't have the US currency to cover that already, and they're so far behind on currency to cover that. And you're sitting here thinking that if you raise the minimum wage, that's going to increase, like, it does it matter? It's already impossible to fix. The reason why they raise their prices the way that they do and they keep your wages low is because they know you can't fight back. They know that it's illegal to, unionize and commit acts of violence and beat the shit and firebomb business owners and businesses, corporations and billionaires who are taking private jets with their private militias that could kill you whenever the fuck that they want. If they really wanted to, let's be honest, they don't need to. Back in the 1930s, 1940s, 1950s, we would unionize and we would beat the shit out of people. I mean, if you look at the way that the culture was, kids used to beat the shit out of kids. Everyone used to beat the shit out of everyone. It was a completely different culture, completely different society. Nowadays, nobody can do anything. We have the militarized police. We have the media that villainizes and criminalizes you. I'm not saying violence is the answer, but I'm saying that the lack of violence is definitely the root cause of allowing these massive corporations and these political scandals, these politicians and government entities to actually royally fuck you and the economy and to spread chaos and fear throughout the entire country for all of this, the entirety of this time. But no, don't cry about how the burger flipper shouldn't make as much as you because you're already underpaid as a skilled. And I know people who are running entire job sites by themselves making $21 an hour, and that is completely fucking outrageous and ridiculous. Please educate yourselves. Please remain safe. Just because I call you a fucking idiot for believing that the minimum wage or believing any kind of conservative economic practices, will we go, oh, any Republican that goes in and makes it, stop. They make it easier for businesses, okay? They don't make it easier for us. The working class, the working man, the working class should not pay taxes. Why the fuck? This should be a free market for the working class. And that is a fucking fact. And if you don't get the fuck off your ass and start bitching about it to everybody, they're going to continue fucking you. My generation, not even just my generation, even the generation before me, that came before me, will never, ever retire. If they do, they get fucking lucky. It's like hitting the lotto. If you actually think that my generation has a goddamn chance at retiring, you're a fucking moron. And I don't hate you, but you're a fucking moron. And you need to educate yourself and you need to grow the fuck up and look at what's around you and take some fucking time to process your goddamn emotions about it and go, huh, this shit is fucked up. We need to fix it. Bye. I'm done. Thank you for watching. Leave a like and hit that fucking subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one. Complete.